Hello, friends, and welcome to Wonderland. My name is Allison, the self proclaimed priestess of Wonderland, and I am here today to deliver some spirit messages for the Capricorn new moon for January of 2024. It's the first new moon of the year. So, this reading does kind of go through intentions that you should be setting for the upcoming moon cycle, but also kind of the new year goals and intentions as well. So we have three different piles here. We're using gemstones for the Capricorn Earth Moon, and pile number one has this beautiful Lemurian blue calcite palm stone. Group number two has a Lepidolite uh, massage wand. And group three has a black kyanite blade that is also decorated as a broom. So if one of these three crystals calls out to you, you can find your timestamp below for 1, 2, or 3. And there's no collective message because I just did a 2024 message. But I will say with this Capricorn new moon, to really, for everybody, there was a message about cleansing and releasing. So remember to do that when the moon is dark. This is our time to be empty, to release, and we can release throughout the whole waning moon phase. But before the new moon, we want to let go of 2023. I think a lot of us need to do cleansing from 2023 and so that we're starting this new year and this new month fresh on a fresh, clean slate. I believe that this Capricorn moon is allowing us to do that, to really put both feet on the ground moving forward. But I think we're going to have to be okay with the emptiness first, to let go and release that and be okay with not really knowing what we're getting ourselves into for 2024. But know that with this Capricorn moon, we can solidify our groundedness, we can solidify and build our foundation so that we can continue to move and pick ourselves up anytime we need to throughout the year. So happy new moon. Thank you for being here. Hello, group one. If you chose this beautiful Lemurian blue calcite palm stone, then this is your reading for the first new moon of 2024. We'll get to your gemstone message at the end. Right now, our tarot cards are the King of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ten of Wands. So, the messages that I was receiving for this group is for you to set intentions around acting as if you already have the thing that you are after. Whatever your goal or intentions are for this new moon, start living your life and like start creating like a daily routine or a daily schedule as if you already have that thing. The thing that was really jumping out at me is that like both the high priestess and the king of wands here, they're sitting on their throne. And I feel like those of you that chose this group have been kind of playing it small and just to like play it safe. And you've had these thoughts of like, well, one day when I have X, Y, and Z, one day when I have this, I'll be able to do whatever it is that you want, that your soul desires to do. And I think that has really kind of depleted your energy, diminished your power, uh, belittled your psychic gifts, because I was really drawn to the package that she is holding. Like, you have a gift, and you deserve to be adequately compensated for your services. I think this is really common in like the service industry, or for those of us that like to help and want to help, is that we try to do everything on our own and try to be all the things for all the people. And we want, like, I don't know, it's kind of that notion of like, well, even if I had like unlimited resources, like I would still want to be helping people. So I may as well just like be doing it for free anyways. And 2024 is the year that I think that you need to set those monetary goals and boundaries and stick to them, because doing everything for everybody else is depleting and draining your energy. And 2024, an 8 year, is about being grounded and stable. And that includes financial stability, and that includes just like energetic stability, because when you have psychic gifts, you're constantly up in the ethers behind the veil. And it's time to be, for you guys, the high priestess who sits between this world and is the bridge. The bridge is tethered and stable. Like, it has these, I know I was using the table leg analogy in the collective reading for 2024, but like the bridge has to have like these four pillars stabilizing it. And you need to like be sitting on that bridge, and you need to be grounded and stable, and you need to be grounded, stable, centered, tethered, so that you're able to like bridge and do the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Um, I don't think that I think that there's like very few people that chose this first pile, because it feels very specific. This feels like someone who is maybe trying to be a tarot reader or a medium, or someone who is just trying to put your psychic gifts in the world and figuring out how to do that. And I think there's very few people that chose this pile. And okay, so I wrote things down so I would stay focused. Um, like, I see you sitting on your throne, like, both of these characters are sitting on thrones and allowing for energy to flow to and from you. And this is the energy of the Six of Pentacles, that you have to give to receive, and you have to receive in order to give. You have a gift, and this is something others don't have. You deserve to be compensated for your services. And with the Ten of Wands, I was getting the message of let Spirit help you. For every step that you take, Spirit will take three. So, like if you've been holding off on something, on putting yourself out there, in the spiritual community, in the spiritual world, if you've been holding yourself back a little bit and trying to do all this work on your own, I think using this new moon to really solidify, and Capricorn can really help us solidify the foundation, and but like put values on your goals. Normally, like, I like to have my word of the year. I like to have that just be a very broad goal or intention for the year, because it's all encompassing and it can mean so many things and be applied to so many parts of your life. But for those of you that chose this group, you really need to put like uh whether it's like dates or whether it's values, like by this date I want to be here. And then having some sort of thing that you actively do, like don't just ask for this thing, you have to actively do something. And when you start taking those steps and doing that, Spirit's going to take care of like 3 of these wands for you so that you're not having to carry all 10 of them. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? So when you take 1 step, Spirit is going to take 3 steps along for you and putting things on your path that make it easier for you. So you need to ask like for specific things though, like say, okay, I want to be here by this date and I'm going to do these things. Can you help me with this? Can you make this happen? Can you make this happen? Can you make this happen? And have them be like really specific things. Make a step-by-step plan and allow Spirit to help along the way. You have to allow it. That's the thing too. Um, okay, so let's jump into some oracle messages. Here we have the Sweat Lodge, the Seer, and the Gatherer. So definitely those of you that have chosen this group are very psychically, spiritually gifted, with the Seer in the center here. So there is a need with the Sweat Lodge card. There is a need for you to really release and let go, whether that's disconnecting from 2023 or whether that's you're just carrying a bunch of baggage that isn't yours and you need to spend some time during the dark moon to release that, to let go of it. If you can physically like go in a sweat lodge, I think that that would be beneficial for some of you, or maybe like a float tank or something like that, or getting a massage, something that would like uh doing some vigorous exercise outside, something that's physically going to get the energy moving in your body and release it. So use this dark moon for going inward into the womb so that you can come out cleansed, renewed, and reborn. So there's something that you really need to do, whether that's a meditation, and I'm looking at this crystal, a meditation to release something from a past life or release something from earlier in your childhood or earlier in your life. There's something that you're holding on to that's really blocking these psychic gifts, and I think it would be beneficial to like physically get that energy moving. Set the intention when you go to sleep on the dark moon to uh, ask your guides to help you subconsciously release this thing, and then maybe eventually it will come to the surface so that you can release it consciously. And then the message for the gatherer, look at the resources that you already have. I feel like maybe you have like a stockpile of ideas, or whether that's like physical, actual, like tangible, like, well, I built a website, but I never like published it. Or I have this stock of inventory, but I never like put it in a shop, or I never tried to sell it, or I never signed up for that market or fair or whatever. Or it's just ideas like, oh, I have this plan. I have this dream. I've been thinking about it for a long time. You already know what you want. Like you have the resources and you need to like you've been gathering them and hoarding them. Now you need to like use them to help sustain you, to help get yourself out there, or to that's part of your first step is like gathering the things that you already have and using them. And our other oracle messages are moon cycles and patience. Our unicorn friend says manifest your dreams. Focus on your vision, seek satisfaction and contentment. And you got the love, Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So I was really feeling the need to read all of this Starseed one. The Hadarians are believed to be beacons of pure, divine, unconditional love who see love in all people and situations. As a result, they find it hard to have boundaried, independent, healthy relationships because they only see the unconditional nature of those they meet. The lovers of the cosmos, they dive in fast. They're here to learn how to love while in a separate body, to learn to love self first and then establish healthy relationships with others. To remember that the love they seek is already within them, that they truly do have all the love all their own. The message of this card is to review the ways you may need to establish healthier boundaries. Perhaps you're in a codependent relationship in which you may be losing your sense of self. It's common for starseeds to dive deep into their relationships, particularly with those who feel safe and familiar at a soul level. Perhaps you're in a relationship in which you give more than you receive, or perhaps there's a certain validity to it and you're always unsure where you stand. This card is assigned to do a relationship review and to see what energetic agreements you've made, consciously or unconsciously. To acknowledge if there are relationships in which you feel anxious or powerless, in which you don't feel like it's safe to relax and just be you. To assess if there are any places of inadequacy that you've used a relationship to soothe and cover up. The Starseed Soul Inquiry are: do you lose yourself in relationships? If so, how? And how can you develop a deeper love for yourself? And the message that I'm getting with this card is highly relatable to me. There's something about, I think it stems from a past life for me, but there's something about me and relationships with other people that I will do anything for anybody in my life, like anything, including sacrificing my own health and my own well being because I feel like the needs of others are more important than mine for some reason. I think it stems from a past life, but it also branches into this life because that's how I have treated every relationship that I've ever had. And I mean, like family, friendships, colleagues, whatever. Like, I will do anything, go above and beyond, even if it includes sacrificing my own health and well-being or my own boundaries or whatever. And I think maybe I felt called to share that with you because I feel like maybe some of you might feel like that as well. And it's worth, especially with the Sweat Lodge card, it's worth maybe meditating about that, figuring out like where that stems from, where that root is. And maybe that might be something that you're working on this year. Because in my experience, it does block your psychic gifts because you are, if you're not taking care of yourself and your vessel, then your intuition gets cloudy and foggy because like this is your gift, your psychic gift and your ability. If you're clouding that judgment with others, every like other people have different gifts than you. So it's like it's not honoring, it's not honing your power and your skill and like defining it. And you have this gift to bring it through this vessel. And if this vessel is not well taken care of emotionally, spiritually, and physically because you're sacrificing it for others, you're not a clear channel. you're not honing and empowering your gift. Like you're not mastering it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. And this leads you to carrying everybody else's shit and doing everything yourself. And that's not what we want to, that's not what we want to do. That's not our goal. So I do believe that this reading, uh, so far for you guys is setting the intentions for this moon cycle. But I think that this is going to be something that you're going to be working on this year is working on setting these boundaries, working on loving yourself and putting yourself first, working on asking for help when you need it, allowing for that reception of you deserve love too. You deserve that energy back. You can't just be putting it out there for everybody else and then you're not filling your cup up too. I think this might be something that like you work on throughout the rest of the year. Especially with this patience card here, because like it takes time. It takes time to get down to the root of problems or issues. It takes time to once you get down there, it takes time to pull it out. I mean, just think of, have you ever tried to pull out a bush in your yard that has been there for how many years? Like they have these huge thick roots and they're really difficult to get out. And so something that's been there for since your childhood or even since a past life, that's a deep root and they're very difficult to pull out. So, um have grace with yourself, give yourself patience. Let me see if there's anything that jumps out at me about this patience card too. Oh, be persistent. This too shall pass. Just like the moon, we all go through phases. Slow down. There is a natural cycle that needs to unfold. So finding that root is the first step. Then digging around everything is the next step. And then actually yanking it out is another step. So just allow these things to be broken down into, and that's why I think this is going to be something you work on. So set the intention for December. I want to like have this thing uprooted. I want to be an open and clear channel. I want to um have this confidence and strength and I want to feel empowered with my gift and not hiding and staying away from people because I can't handle the energy or whatever. Have that be your goal for December. And how do you break that down into 12 small goals? Step by step. You might want to go to like, okay, 6 months from now, I want to be halfway there. And then break down those other parts. And be persistent. Like that keeps jumping out at me. Be persistent. Do not like it's let me show it to you. Be per be persistent. Like I know we get kind of like discouraged. We're like, "Oh, it's not working out as fast as I wanted to, or it's not working out the way I wanted it to. It's not." And then we give up or slow down or whatever. Like just keep going as long as you keep moving and keep showing spirit, "Hey, this is my one step. Can you help me with the next 3?" I think that's going to be really beneficial for you guys. And look at our little unicorn telling us to manifest our dreams. Number 22. I don't know if that's a number or symbol for anybody. So choosing this card indicates that you are ready to bring forward a soul desire, something that satisfies you on a deep level. It may be to express yourself through painting or creativity, to look after animals, to serve in some way, or to heal or help others. You may want to explore the world, race cars, climb a mountain, invent new technology, or teach. It is not what you ask for, it what it lights up inside you that is important. Your unicorn is answering your call and helping to bring your vision to fruition. This is a card of opportunity to so explore what you truly want. Consider what you would give or consider what would give you a sense of peace, adventure, or joy. What would fulfill you? How do you feel inside when you think of it? Remember that anything is possible when you are clear and focused. Let go of all thoughts or financial reward or how you might personally benefit from your soul desires. For when you manifest them, your feelings of joy and wonder will automatically draw abundance to you. Ask your celestial helper to take your vision to source for a blessing. Remember that when you act as if something is already in place, you send the energy to attract it. That's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of this reading with the tarot cards and the sitting on the throne. Like, act as if you already have this thing. You can't make this stuff up, guys. Remember that when you act as if something is already in place, you send out the energy to attract it. Whew, group one. All right, let's check out this gemstone affirmation for you too. Lemurian blue calcite activates the throat chakra for peaceful communication and the heart chakra for deep emotional healing. It brings happiness and peace and helps you unlock past life memories. Encoded with ancient Lemurian wisdom, this is a crystal of interdimensional communication and higher wisdom. I received the ancient wisdom waiting for me. I am happy and at peace. So, this would be a good affirmation to maybe recite every morning. Have that be part of your plan, your written plan and goal. Write down this affirmation. It's been my experience, and I just actually put out a video of Lemurian blue calcite of my experience, like the in depth story. But it really does help you unlock those past life memories that might be like affecting or blocking you in this life. So this is just a really wonderful stone to work with. You might want to work with it this year. And wow, so much of that. I hope. I feel like I might need to like watch this reading again for myself. A lot of that was like channeled information, and I just don't even know what happened. So, group one, take time out to sweat, sweat it out, let it go, release it, purge it, so that you can be an open and clear channel and gather and use your resources, what you have. Really put a step by step plan in place for yourself for definitely this moon cycle, but also for this entire year. So that if you ever fall off track, you always have that 12-month plan in place, and you can be like, okay, what was I supposed to do this month? Or if you need to catch up, what was I supposed to do last month? If you don't have the Just a Phase Moon Planner, like that's exactly what it was designed for. So those links are always in the description for the Moon Planner. And if you're on a budget, the digital planner is like a million times cheaper than the hard copy because printing is expensive. So if that's an easier option for you, that's always there. Whoo, group one. You got this. Happy New Year. Happy Capricorn new moon. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful, happy new moon. And Capricorn, I hope you're ready to jump into 2024. And I want to thank you for stopping by the other side of the looking glass and hanging out here with us in Wonderland. Thank you so much for your continued support. And no matter what way that support came, I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed in 2023. I hope that we get to meet lots of new people in 2024. So I really appreciate you liking this video, sharing it, just to help these videos reach more people. I really appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to work with you all in 2024. If you would like to get a yearly reading, I have a really beautiful spread that is a yearly spread for 2024, but it also flows with the phases of the moon and particularly your birth year. So we're looking at your birth chart, and we are um, looking at the energy of your personal year and getting some spirit messages from that. So that's available in my shop, priestessofwonderland.com. I also have some other cool spreads there that I really love diving into. And don't forget about the Ko-fi memberships. There's various tiers. Most of them allow you a card a week for every week. It usually comes out between Sunday and Tuesday. Then there's higher tiers where you can get monthly readings, which, oh my gosh, is so helpful. And there's also another option for 2 readings, and then an even higher option that includes Reiki and crystal energy healing once a month as well, because I am a certified Reiki and crystal healer. I'm also a massage therapist. That's my day job and that's my business. So self-care is really important to me, and I really find that tarot helps us connect to spirit and helps us. That's part of my self-care ritual practice. So please check out my website to see all of those things that I offer. I really appreciate your support and thank you so much. Hello, group 2. If you chose this beautiful Lepidolite and Albite wand, then this is your reading for the first new moon of 2024. We've got a lot to go through. Your group had extra gemstone messages, and felt called to read from a lot of the books for the oracle cards. So, this might be a little bit of a longer reading. I think a lot of different people chose this group as well. Whereas I think only a few people chose the first group. So I think there's a lot of different messages come through. There's a lot of energy coming through as well. And so I think because this is for so many different people, like if something doesn't resonate with you, if you felt called to another pile, go for that one. But I think because there's so many people that just like take what resonates with you. If it doesn't mean that this was the wrong group for you. I just think that there's just so many different messages coming through for this group. So first of all, let's go through the tarot cards. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, the World, the 4 of Wands, and the Devil. So, first of all, for you guys, with the World card here, you overcame so much in 2023. You came full circle. You accomplished something. You overcome some big obstacle or multiple obstacles, and you really need to honor that and celebrate yourself because for you I think that you deserve this. Well, you deserve the celebration, but you also deserve to kind of like let things let things settle, let things integrate. Um, Even though this is the first new moon of 2024, I think for those of you that chose this group, this isn't a moon for you to like jump into taking action on things, especially with the 7 of Pentacles here. This is about taking a pause, overseeing, wow, look at all of these things that came to fruition for me, or look at all these obstacles I overcame. Look at like it's about taking a pause and a step back. It's not a like quitting, I'm done. It's just a like, hmm, let's take stock on things. What direction do we need to go now? That kind of thing. And then you're going to be ready to like jump into something new. Because when we complete something, now it's time to start fresh. But you really need to celebrate something, celebrate these obstacles, celebrate these pillars that you've put up or these things, these lessons that you've learned, honor them. You need to use this new moon to honor the badassery that you accomplished in 2023. And I like spirit told me to say badassery. Like you need to honor that. You are a badass. So all of the obstacles you have overcome, acknowledge it. Take a break and celebrate you. Treat yourself. So, speaking of treat yourself, we have the devil here. So oftentimes this is a like self-indulgent card. It's these little vices that help us like get through the day. And I think in 2024, like I was getting devil in a blue dress. I mean, I don't know if it's because the devil is blue in this, but that was the the message. Sometimes my spirit guides speak to me in song. So devil in a blue dress, replace the vice with something that benefits you more. And the example that I was told to use is something I'm doing for myself. Like ever since 2020, like I have been having some sort of sugar or sweet like at the end of the day, like every freaking day. I feel it in my body. It feels gross. There's like this buildup of like sugar and like I've been getting a lot of headaches. We all know sugar's not good for us. We all know these things that we like do. We sneak every now and then. It's like anyway, so I've had to replace sweets at the end of the night with yogurt, and I'm even only doing that for like a week. Like I still like I'm feeling a lot better. Um So I pretend it's ice cream. I like and I don't mean frozen. I'm not cheating. I'm not doing frozen yogurt. I'm just doing a bowl of yogurt and I'll put things in it. Like I'll put some chocolate chips in it, or I really like adding some sort of texture like granola or something that's like crunchy. Um, because I hate the texture of yogurt. It freaks me out. It grosses me out. And so I'm trying really hard to get some probiotics and to cut out sugar. I know yogurt has a lot of sugar, but I'm trying to find the best. Anyways, it's something little like that. Like I know there's still sugar in it. I know that it's still like not the best for me. Um, but that's just the thing. So if you're, I don't know, like my mother-in-law, she drinks a Coca-Cola, like that's her treat. Like, and she used to be like a huge soda like addict, and so that's her treat, like one soda. And I'm like, what if you like that's still bad, you know? Like that's still bad for you. So like if you're someone that drinks soda, maybe like switching to seltzer water. Um, it's weird. There's this one brand of Wegmans seltzer that comes in a red can, and the flavor is cherry vanilla. And it kind of, for what, I don't know if it's just the red can, but it makes me feel like I'm drinking a Coca-Cola when I drink it. So like something that like tricks your little devil into thinking like, "Oh yeah, I'm indulging on something," is going to be beneficial for you this year. Like trying to substitute something. Um because I think I mean, I convinced myself. I was like, we are living in the slow apocalypse. Like I can have cake every night if I freaking want to. And like I convinced myself that that's okay because I struggled throughout the day, that I'm allowed to have this thing, even though I know it's not good for me. I know it's not helping me. And I think like getting back to like having cake be something to celebrate, like a special occasion. Um I think that, like, makes it more enjoyable. It makes you, like, not appreciate cake as much, and I'm using cake as an analogy for, like, anything that can be considered, like, celebratory or indulgent. Like, have it mean something more because you are celebrating something. Like, have your cake and celebrate everything that you happened in 2024, but moving forward, kinda switch that out with something a little bit better for yourself. Another example I was told to use, like, I don't know why this is gonna be, like, the longest reading, so buckle up. Um, the other example, oh, no, now I just lost it because I was, like, worried about this being too long. Shoot, I lost it. Maybe it'll come back to me. It was another example of the devil in the blue dress. But anyways, so let's jump into the next cards. Oh my gosh. So we have the hunter for you, the jaguar, and the staff. So the messages with these cards, I feel like this was like really solidifying the like I feel like this new moon is more about letting things settle, letting things integrate for you versus I don't know, I even kind of feel like this year is going to be like a whole journey for you, I think. And this new moon is not necessarily setting intentions for 2024. I feel like maybe like this group of people is just going to like these first few months of the year are going to be more about finding the direction, finding your map. Um, this was interesting. The Hunter card's message was more about like the tracking of the hunt, like being like someone that's really able to like track things in the woods. And so this group of people needs to start finding what your spirit language is, finding what those signs and symbols are for you, and like look for those signs. It's like you're on this trail and you're looking for the signs that are for you. And it's more about the like finding that subtlety of the tracking and the hunt than about the destination for this group of people. So, like, make your own map and be your own compass is the message that I was getting with this. And think about like how stealthy like the jaguar moves through the jungle and like creeps along in the shadows, but it's just kind of like I just see these eyes piercing through the dark and this especially this moon cycle but I really do think this year it's more about the journey for you guys and not necessarily the destination. It's the about finding your way, trusting your instincts, and exploring beyond the walls that confine you. Investigate the unknown and end the shadow games that you may have been unconsciously playing. And I think that was referring back to the devil in the blue dress. Like, you've convinced yourself that this thing is good for you, but it's not. So we gotta like we gotta switch that up a little bit. Um, So this was one of the cards. The staff was one of the cards that I felt called to read because I think that there were like I think there's so many different messages in this um in the book that like I think is going to be different for everybody. So take what resonates from this reading, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then just leave it. It's for somebody else. So the staff is the symbol of authority. I do feel like this is like referring back to the jaguar too. Like there feels like this like very sleeky, empowering kind of energy to this whole reading and those of you that chose this card. So it holds the power to temper extremes. The staff helps you find the right course of action, the way of the middle, and the way of the middle is in quotations, and aids you to maintain your balance after you begin walking in that direction. Moses carried a serpent staff through the desert, and with it he could summon the power of nature to heal all or call plagues. The staff reminds you of the importance. Wait, the staff reminds you of the impermanence of all things, and that your authority must come from your deep longing to serve. You know how to flow easily between polarities, how to weigh all possibilities and instinctively select the right path. Trust your inner wisdom and take the first step on your journey that your heart has already embarked on. Use the power of the staff to unite what appears to be divided, to find that delicate balance between will and surrender. You are caught in the delicate balance between opposing forces, between masculine and feminine, between action and non action. Use this to your advantage, as there can be no day without night, no low without high, no right without wrong. This is the time to take corrective action, beginning with your beliefs about what needs to be fixed or repaired. Let destiny take its course, nudging you slightly along. And I wanted to to read that as slowly as possible because I just really feel like there were really important key messages. And I think the message that was right for you, when you hear it, you're gonna know. But this group, I know I feel like there might be like some frustration amongst this group because you're just like, I want to have the goal and I want to have the path and I want to go from point A to point B. But uh, for this group, this is really about the exploration and the journey and just being open to when you receive a sign, follow it and go in that direction. And then once that kind of like integrates or dissipates, like you'll see another sign. And it's just kind of going from instead of point A to point B, it's about going to like a point A point one, point A point two to B to A to D. Like it's, I don't know. There's just like all these different directions that you're going to be exploring this year. So our oracle cards are Moonrise and Cleansing. Go with the flow, relax, and trust. Accept what is happening. And called Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. So this card was really like jumping out at me for like, you're really jumping into the unknown. It's almost like you're going onto this path like blindfolded and you're just allowing your intuition and your instincts to like guide you and lead you along. Okay, so buckle up. We're going to read from all of these cards. So, the called card here, you came to Earth with a double mission to grow as a soul and to bring about a shift in consciousness. The best way to fulfill these personal and collective purposes is to trust what it is that your soul is calling you towards, for it's encoded within the most direct path forward. Your soul has many unique gifts that it came here to share. Some you may already be aware of, others you're just beginning to uncover. You're being called to remember that your soul is intelligently chose the perfect conditions to carry out your soul's mission and share your soul's gifts. If you're being called towards a creative project, a passion, or an adventure, this card is your confirmation that you're facing the right way and that this moment right here is destined. If you're feeling underprepared or thinking, who am I to do that? This card is guiding you to step up and leap and consider perhaps that your soul has been training for this moment right here for lifetimes. So there's a little activation to go along with this card. I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received throughout all of my lifetimes. I'm ready to embody them now without hesitation or fear. I fully commit to being here now. I'm ready to step into my soul's highest and most potent calling. I've been training for this for lifetimes. Take the leap. Take the leap. I see you like taking the leap and jumping in the river and just like allowing allowing yourself to float along. I know I use the river analogy a lot. So life is like a river, sometimes racing and other times quiet and still. Right now, the currents of the universe are flowing in your favor. So relax, surrender, and allow the tide you are on to carry you forward. I also feel like this was pointing back to the Seven of Pentacles. Like, just relax, let go. Like you did the hard work. Now let the current of life drift you to where you're supposed to go next. And then you can like pick up and like get that hard work going again. If your life feels like a rushing torrent, enjoy the exhilarating ride. However, recognize that there may be submerged rocks, eddies, or even waterfalls to negotiate, and ask your unicorn to keep a protective ball of white light around you. If your life seems to be meandering along rather slowly, accept this too as a gift. This is what you need right now, so let go of any frustrations or boredom. Don't try to push ahead, rather, take the opportunity to relax and enjoy the peace. Look at the beauty of the world as you drift along. Overall, your guidance is to trust the universe. Your unicorn is asking you to allow the wisdom of the invisible forces of the cosmos to direct you. Know that what is happening is for the highest good. Swimming against the current would only drain your energy and inner resources. The more you trust the flow, the more your unicorn can steer you on your journey. You are being prepared for the next phase. Have faith that all is in divine right order. And with this cleansing card, the messages that I was getting is really to just, it's time to let go of 2024, or sorry, let go of 2023 and step into 2024. Let go, rest, relax, release. Use the dark moon to just cleanse and let go of any fears, any negative thoughts, and just trust, surrender, allow, and move forward. So, your beautiful Lepidolite message is: Lepidolite is a powerful crown chakra activator. It dissipates negative energy and is one of the best crystals for relieving stress and worry. Lepidolite aids your physical and emotional well being, improves dream recall, and provides peaceful sleep, rest, relaxation, and recovery from illness. It also helps you to perceive problems as opportunities for growth. I am released. I am relaxed and at ease with myself and others. Everything is as it should be. Um, so you have a couple of You have 3 affirmations here. You can choose one that resonates with you, and I recommend using that, maybe reciting it to yourself every night before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning. So the reason we had so many gemstones is because the first 2, these next 2 that I was gonna read, they were the first 2 that I drew, and I don't have these crystals, so I just kept pulling until I had a a crystal, and that's the lepidolite. So, the first one that came out was the yellow fluorite. It is a manifestation and money drawing stone. It activates the solar plexus chakra, helping you feel powerful and filled with possibility. Yellow fluorite embodies the law of attraction in crystal form. This good fortune magnet is a great gem for business owners as it helps attract and increase clients. Ooh, very cool. So I attract the resources I need to manifest my desires. So, it's also interesting. When I first picked this card, I was almost like, well, I have, um, mine is like a blue green fluorite. I was like, well, I have that. And I know that the fluorite that I have is meant to help finding your path, like putting you on your path, finding your purpose. And I really do think that like all fluorite has that quality as well. So I think it was very fitting for this reading. So I'm glad we decided to keep it in because you're definitely making your map, finding your path, and trusting that like even if you feel blindfolded, that you are like in the right direction. And the last one is Ruby is a gem of passion, intensity, eros, love, and enthusiasm. It activates the heart chakra and helps emotional and physical issues of the heart, including heartache and grief. Ruby helps attract new love or reignite the flame that's already there, increasing your passion and soul connection. I am filled with passion, open to love, and not afraid to live with intensity. So, when I was reading this, I was feeling like it was this maybe one of the obstacles that you overcame in 2023 was a relationship, something to do with the heart, healing an old wound, um, So I think maybe this card is more speaking to that celebrate and honor the things that you've overcome, the lessons that you've learned. And group two, like you guys are you're on the right track, you're on the right path. Don't worry, just trust in the divine, trust and look for those signs and symbols that will help you create your map and or and forge your path and find your purpose and balance these dualities. Um I really just see you like flowing in the right direction. So there's no need to worry. You are allowed to take a step back and take a break and really just let yourself be and see what comes up for you this moon cycle that will help you kind of get a better idea for what you're heading towards in 2024. So don't feel like I feel the need to say like don't feel the pressure to have this direct goal. If you're someone who feels like you need a specific direct goal, you might want to listen to group 1 because group 1 like really needed to have that step by step path, but group 2 you really just need to be open and surrendered to like whatever comes up for you. Just let go and trust that you're just floating along in the right direction. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful, happy new moon in Capricorn. I hope you're ready to jump into 2024. And I want to thank you for stopping by the other side of the looking glass and hanging out here with us in Wonderland. Thank you so much for your continued support. And no matter what way that support came, I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed in 2023. I hope that we get to meet lots of new people in 2024. So I really appreciate you liking this video, sharing it, just to help these videos reach more people. I really appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to work with you all in 2024. If you would like to get a yearly reading, I have a really beautiful spread that is a yearly spread for 2024, but it also flows with the phases of the moon and particularly your birth year. So we're looking at your birth chart and we are um, looking at the energy of your personal year and getting some spirit messages from that. So that's available in my shop, priestessofwonderland.com. I also have some other cool spreads there that I really love diving into. And don't forget about the Ko-fi memberships. There's various tiers. Most of them allow you a card a week for every week. It usually comes out between Sunday and Tuesday. Then there's higher tiers where you can get monthly readings, which oh my gosh is so helpful. And there's also another option for 2 readings and then an even higher option that includes Reiki and crystal energy healing once a month as well, because I am a certified Reiki and crystal healer. I'm also a massage therapist. That's my day job and that's my business. So self-care is really important to me. And I really find that tarot helps us connect to spirit and helps us, that's part of my self-care ritual practice. So please check out my website to see all of those things that I offer. I really appreciate your support and thank you so much. Hello, group 2. If you chose this beautiful black kyanite broom, then this is your reading for the first new moon of 2024. We'll get to your gemstone message after all the cards. And I have to be a little bit honest. I was a little bit I had difficulty like tapping into the energy of this reading in this group. And it the message I was getting with that is that this group feels a little bit guarded and like you've put up these walls and it's preventing you from receiving the thing that you asked for. And it also feels like you're kind of refusing something. Like honestly, it feels like you feel like you are doing everyone else a service by hiding yourself behind closed doors. It kind of feels like. Um, so let's jump into the cards first. Seven of Wands is the first one. And when I pulled this card, I got the song stuck in my head from the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven, the song You Can't Keep a Good Dog Down. So, I mean, the Seven of Wands is a card about like not letting others stop you from going for the thing that you're going for. Don't let anybody else's input or influence affect like how you feel about yourself. And I don't think that that is the case for you, especially with this Nine of Pentacles here, because it was like, you can't, like, I feel like you have this attitude of like, hell yeah, I love who I am. I am the shit. But you're not sharing yourself with the world. You're keep like you have self-confidence, you have self-esteem, you've got this fancy coat on and your fancy hat, and I feel like you know how awesome you are, and you know how powerful you are, and you know how like you have that, you embody that, but and you don't let other people tell you otherwise. Like you know who you are and you feel good about it, but you also aren't sharing yourself with the world. You're like, maybe you have a very small group of people from which you associate with because like um they know who you are, they love who you are, they've been in your life for a really long time, but I don't know, there's something very very guarded about you. Maybe it's that you just keep to yourself. Maybe you don't have a small group of people. um I can relate to that, but like you're keeping yourself in this cage for some sort of reason, and we'll get into a little bit more as to maybe why. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Eight of Swords. So the Ace of Pentacles in reverse made me feel like you're literally like refusing something. Like something's being offered to you and you're just like not taking it. You're like, I'm fine and good and dandy. I love where I am. I'm happy where I am. Like I'm good. I'm good on my own. No need for anything else. Um yeah, this was very like like at the same time you also like desire this thing, you're refusing it. It feels very this whole reading just feels very conflicted and very confusing, and I think that's because like there is this wall that you have put up for a reason. And I also get the sense that, well, let's just jump into these cards because the other cards we have are Fire, Luminous Warrior, and the Tree of Life. So this group for sure falls into that category of the too much. Like you've been told in the past that like you're too much. I get the sense that like this group might be very fiery people, especially with the fire here and Luminous Warrior. Like I get the sense that like you've been told that you're too much, but like you don't care what other people think anymore, and you're just like, I'm just gonna be on my own and be my own fabulous self. But I think that there is this need for you to connect with others. This wall needs to come down in order to own your power. And I feel like the reason that you've put this wall up is because your fire has burned you in the past, has burned others in the past. And I think you're afraid. You're afraid of your power, I think, a little bit. You know you're fabulous and you know you're powerful, but I think you're also kind of afraid of it at the same time. So, um, this new moon, I think, is going to give you an opportunity with like a fresh start and burning away the past. Like with this, when fire comes up, it's either going to ignite something or it's going to burn and release something and give you this phoenix kind of energy of like transforming, rebirth. It feels like you have put yourself in this cage, the Eight of Swords cage, because you fear your own power. So the thing with fire energy is it is destructive. It can burn things away, and I think maybe you've seen that in the past. And one of my favorite quotes, and I have this on my bathroom mirror, and I can't remember who, it may have been Daniel Dolsky that said this, but I might be wrong. Um, it's you get to choose to live creatively or destructively. And that is a really difficult lesson. It's something that I still struggle with my own fire energy and with my own power, is that like I know I can be destructive. I know that I know I can be destructive. I have been there. I've watched myself just burn bridges and I'm like, "Why did you do that?" And I've just watched it happen, and I know that I can be self-destructive at the same time. Like I've seen that. So that's why that's on my bathroom mirrors. It is your choice to choose whether or not you want to live creatively, which is also fire, or destructively, which is also fire. So it's like these two things that um, we can be and do with fire energy. And you can channel and be the luminous warrior and like channel your fire into something creative and positive, or you can choose to be destructive with it. It's your choice. And I think maybe in the past you maybe have chosen that destructive path. And that's why you've put yourself in in the cage, because you're like, "Oh, I've seen what I can do and I don't want to do that anymore." But it's also like dimmed your light and dimmed your power and dimmed your sense of strength in the world. So use this new moon to set intentions around balancing your energy, like balancing that fire energy, using it for creativity instead of destruction, not playing with it. Like you are capable of doing this and becoming the luminous warrior. Focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty, and do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you. So, like, I think, like, at the same time, when you think about this fabulousness, this fiery energy, this creative energy, you think it's something wrong with you because in the past you've been told, "Oh, you're too much. You're too this, too that." And we need to burn that away. That's in the past. This is a new year. This is a new moon. This is about moving forward and empowering yourself, not belittling yourself because of being told you're too much. So, our other cards are Moon Shining, Stay in Integrity, Cosmic Ruby, Be a Peace Ambassador, Practice Cosmic Mastery. And all paths lead to home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. So, along the lines of like what we were just talking about, is like, um, I think in the past, if there has been destructive behavior, know that all paths still lead home. Like you were meant to have those experiences for a reason, to learn a lesson. It's not a mistake. It's just it is what it is. It's in the past, and you can learn from it. You can still learn from things in the past. And so I guess we'll start with this message here. It's normal to look to the external world for answers and guidance. What's revolutionary is turning your gaze inward. You're being called to source your guidance from within, to study the terrain of your own inner landscape, to develop a reliable relationship with your soul. The more time you spend connecting with your soul, the deeper the connection will become. The challenge for empaths is staying connected without cutting off from the world. I'm going to read that again. The challenge for empaths is staying connected without cutting off from the world, without putting up those walls, without putting yourself in that cage. The best way to do this is to develop a daily practice that helps you keep checking in, to draw on the wisdom within, and to let that be the authority in your life. If this card appears, you may be called to develop or switch up your spiritual practice, to get in the habit of turning your gaze within, getting centered for the day before consuming anything from the outside world, to start from a feeling of at homeness, and throughout each day to find simple ways to keep coming home. This doesn't mean switching off from the realities of today's world. We need as many conscious people as possible living with their eyes wide open. Rather, it's a call to start your day from a place of connectedness, grace, and devotion. So when you go out into the world and when you let your world in, you do it from an unshakable state of being, a state where you draw your strength, authority, and guidance from a place deep, deep within. How are you being called to turn your gaze within? So the message I'm getting with this card in relation to the new moon is um, starting some sort of daily practice and ritual that might maybe like doesn't start with fire. The thing with having so much fire energy, um, personally for me, what I've known, I have a lot of Sagittarius, and then I also have a Leo and Mars a Mars and Sun Leo. So I have a lot of fire energy. So on an Aries moon day, I know that not to add any more fuel to that fire. I've already got a lot of fire within. So that means like no caffeine, no alcohol on fiery days because um caffeine on a fire day for one just makes me try to do 100 things at a time without actually ever completing them, and then I get burnt out from running myself like crazy. So that's just one example. And so starting off your day like this is saying with like a very rooted, oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about the tree of life. Jeez Louise. Um so like starting off your day with something more rooted and grounded, maybe like so like try on fire days not to have caffeine or not to have any sugar or not to have any alcohol. Um Or try starting your day off with a rooted and grounded practice. Like instead of reaching for the coffee, start with a grounding meditation, or start with a foot massage that brings your focus down to your feet and your roots, and putting your feet on the ground and having some sort of grounding practice in the morning. Pulling an oracle card in the first thing in the morning, something that like helps you get centered and focused so that this fire energy isn't the thing. So you're not just adding all this fire, 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 and then you're like burnt out. Why did I skip over the tree? That's interesting because we just want to move forward with the fire. Oh my gosh, we just have to come back and get grounded and centered. Let's read the tree of life message. Oh my goodness. So the tree of life is a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep root Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious, while its branches reach to the heavens, the source of destiny. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. A tall tree with shallow roots falls in the first wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm. So that makes me think of like, there needs to be, like, you can't just be all fire and fabulousness. You have to have that be grounded first. Same thing with like intuition. We can't just all be in our upper chakras. We need to be rooted and grounded first so that we can pull that energy into the 3D realm, because that's the world that we live in, is the 3D realm. So, to find a health and balance in your life, reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in thinking or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, connect more with your roots and your physical body. If you are caught in mechanical doing and you are feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longings. What nutrients do you need to add to your soil to grow strong? The seeds of the oak will not grow on barren ground or without light of the sun. What dreams do you want to awaken to create a mindful destiny? Reflect on how you want to blossom, the kind of fruit that you want to produce, and where you want to sow your new seeds. Be a conscious creator. So, like, putting, like, I don't know. I feel like this group is not only just like a fiery person, but you're really creative. So like we can't just run on fire. We have to put earth, we have to put wood on the fire, and we have to contain the fire, and we have to add there needs to be oxygen to have fire. And there needs to be all of those elements, not just um and your earth element can't just be the container. It can't just be the cage. It has to be, I don't know. There has to be this I'm seeing uh, like uh like I don't know, the recycling arrows. It's just like we need the fire and we need the earth and we need the air and we need the water. We need them all to like be cycling in a cycle to stay balanced. And I want to move over to the moonshining card. Moonshining means talking nonsense or empty or foolish talk. There is a sense with this card that what someone is saying is all style and no substance. Is that person you or someone else? Drawing this card suggests there's a risk that someone has been filling your head with ideas that have no place in there. Maybe someone's been making promises to you that they can't or won't keep. Or maybe someone has said something hurtful to you and you've taken it far too seriously. Perhaps they were just being provocative. There is a sense when this card comes up that you should disregard the empty or cruel words that someone has spoken to you and instead gather up your own power and love yourself more. I feel like you do that, but there are like maybe these, especially with the 7 of wands, there are these like underlying thoughts. And I think that that's the too much that everybody, oh, you're too much, you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that. And um I feel like you've maybe just buried those and have been kind of pretending a little bit that it doesn't bother you, but they're those little roots are still like digging in there. Um There is a sense when this card comes up that you should disregard the empty or cruel words that someone has spoken to you and instead gather up your own power and love yourself more. Also, do not be the person who is doing the moonshining. In other words, make sure that you're acting with integrity in all your current dealings. Otherwise, as sure as the moon rises, karma could come and even things out. That's not meant to sound alarming. It's just a statement of fact. The additional meanings of this card are don't make empty promises. Someone is baiting you. Think about who you trust. Don't let someone's words hurt you and don't take life so seriously. Is someone talking nonsense? Is it someone from your past or is it someone from your past and you've adopted those thoughts and ideas and that's why you've put yourself in this cage? And whoops, with this unicorn card in the center, Ruby also came up for group 2. So if you were kind of called to group 2, I would recommend that, especially because group two's reading really felt like it was meant for a lot of different people. So there were a lot of different messages that came up in group 2, and I think the group 2 is one of those you just gotta cherry pick what resonates with you, what makes sense to you, and then, like, if it doesn't, just leave it. So I don't know, it's very, like, lots of different messages coming through for group 2. So, but if this ruby is jumping out at you, there was also a gemstone card for ruby in that group, because that group had three three gemstone cards actually. So the cosmic ruby, be a peace ambassador, practice cosmic mastery. This is the card of peace and wisdom. So your unicorn is inviting you to be a peacemaker. I also feel like this card is really going with this luminous warrior card too. Archangel Uriel is in charge of the development of the solar plexus chakra. Yeah, I do also feel like these negative thoughts from your past like really are still blocked in your solar plexus, which is also where our fire lives. Our fire is solar, and you can really have like heart fire too. So his powerful cosmic rubies, or Archangel Uriel's powerful cosmic rubies, radiate for action, gold for wisdom, and the beautiful blue of peace and higher communication. What these gems are lit up by is unicorn energy. They bring forward your self worth and confidence so that you can take action with love and common sense. So I feel like ruby would be a really good crystal to work with for grounding your inner fire so that you're more able to like channel the fire instead of it just like going out of control. Your guidance today is to ask for a cosmic ruby to be placed in your solar plexus. As you sense its light being absorbed by your systems, know that a new, improved version of yourself is stepping forward. Your guidance, then, is to practice being wise and calm. Your unicorn will be with you as you communicate serenely and diplomatically with everyone. Look for peaceful solutions to all the challenges that are presented to you and trust that you will be guided to find a good way forward. Ask your unicorn to place a cosmic ruby illuminated within its energy over parts of the world where people cannot express their truth or where there is conflict. Send it to learning establishments where students need confidence. Visualize it over individuals and groups who need enlightened thinking to bring about peace. Your unicorn is reminding you that a cosmic ruby accelerates your spiritual journey to intergalactic mastery. If this path resonates with you, visualize the gem around your energy field. Know that your unicorn is lighting the way for you. Um, First of all, the message that I'm getting with this card is if you are someone that works with angels, Archangel Uriel is one that would like to work with you. Another thing is it might be if you're someone who gets like really ang like has okay, this is coming from someone who has anger management problems. And a lot of times one of the reasons why I stay away from watching the news on a regular basis is because it's just so infuriating that we have like let this many problems go on for way far too long, and it's just so infuriating and frustrating because it feels like there's nothing that can be done with it. And if you're somebody that like feels like that, like feels like you get really heated when there's situations like out of your control, like world problems, we can still like take part in taking 5 minutes and sending out love and peace to the world. Like do some deep breathing, get yourself grounded and centered, and just sending love to places that need love. We have multiple wars going on in the world right now, and like we can and natural disaster, like there's a lot of chaos going on in the world, and we can maybe like once a day for 5 minutes just send love to pick an area that of the world that you feel like needs love. Pick somebody that you know that you feel like needs love, and just take a few minutes, set a timer, and just send them love and nothing but love, unconditional love. Just sending love and peace to areas of the world that need to, and it might help like control your fire a little bit. Last but not least, our beautiful black kyanite for you. There is this need to burn away, and Black kyanite, although not a fire, obviously it's a gemstone. Black kyanite can literally just suck up all the negative energy. That's why it's a broom. It can, I actually feel like it's more of a vacuum that just like sucks up all this negative energy, all this energy that's not yours. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Burn it away or cleanse it with something like a black kyanite. So, black kyanite is a powerful clearing and grounding stone that activates the Earth Star chakra. It clears negative energies from other stones and never needs to be cleared or cleansed itself. Black kyanite also helps you connect with spirit guides and access past life memories to see where your soul needs healing and retrieval. The affirmation here is I am released from negative energy. I am grounded and replenished. This might be a good affirmation to say like right before you go to bed if you're somebody that feels like you absorb other people's energies throughout the day. That's a really nice practice at the end of the night when you're laying in bed before you go to sleep. Just close your eyes and envision I am releasing all of this energy and imagine that this black kyanite is just vacuuming all of that up as you release it so that you can have a beautiful, restful sleep in only your energy and only your stuff. Oh gosh, because you are so fabulous. Look how fabulous you are. Oh my gosh. So, oh gosh, I forgot about this message here too. I feel like you're at this threshold. So when I pulled this card, I just kept looking at this like path that leads you to this doorway, and I feel like you're holding yourself back from stepping through that doorway and grabbing the thing, whatever it is. And like you've kept yourself like on the outskirts along the hedges. You've kept yourself kind of on the hedge and are refusing to step forward for some reason, and I don't know if it's because you think that you're too much, but you are just enough. There are so many different ways that you can learn to control your power, and I think you are the luminous warrior and are totally capable of doing that. Look at you, beautiful luminous warrior. Don't be afraid of your fire. I really feel like maybe checking into group 2 or connecting with Ruby energy would be really good for this group as well. Thank you so much, group 3. Don't be afraid of your fire. I love your fire. Just use it creatively. Figure out how to channel it and use it to empower yourself instead of self-destruct. So, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful, happy new moon and a happy 2024. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful, happy new moon. And Capricorn, I hope you're ready to jump into 2024. And I want to thank you for stopping by the other side of the looking glass and hanging out here with us in Wonderland. Thank you so much for your continued support. And no matter what way that support came, I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed in 2023. I hope that we get to meet lots of new people in 2024. So I really appreciate you liking this video, sharing it, just to help these videos reach more people. I really appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to work with you all in 2024. If you would like to get a yearly reading, I have a really beautiful spread that is a yearly spread for 2024, but it also flows with the phases of the moon and particularly your birth year. So we're looking at your birth chart and we are um, looking at the energy of your personal year and getting some spirit messages from that. So that's available in my shop, priestessofwonderland.com. I also have some other cool spreads there that I really love diving into. And don't forget about the Ko-fi memberships. There's various tiers. Most of them allow you a card a week for every week. It usually comes out between Sunday and Tuesday. Then there's higher tiers where you can get monthly readings, which, oh my gosh, is so helpful. And, there's also another option for 2 readings and then an even higher option that includes Reiki and crystal energy healing once a month as well, because I am a certified Reiki and crystal healer. I'm also a massage therapist. That's my day job and that's my business. So self-care is really important to me, and I really find that tarot helps us connect to spirit and helps us that's part of my self-care ritual practice. So, please check out my website to see all of those things that I offer. I really appreciate your support and thank you so much.